What's up?
Hey, everyone. I'm Kelly.
I'm Cori.
And we are Unleashed. So for about the past year, ever since Cori shared a video about his Sublocade.
It's been almost 2 years, huh?
Has it? Yeah. Oh, yeah. It has. It's almost been 2 years. So since that time and through his journey, and just so many things have happened. He's had a relapse. Like, just a lot has happened. And I've always encouraged him, because we've had so many questions on his video about his experience, and people want to know, like, is he still on it? How many shots has he gotten? Has he been on the Subutex and on all the other anti-opioid things? And just, we've had a lot coming in, and he's been so reluctant to share, and I've just encouraged him time and time again to just talk about it. And
you've been encouraging me for probably a year.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. And other people have just asked, can you please do an update us on, where you are and everything. And so today he just said, all right, let's do it. So
Yeah.
I'm here as a support, and, if questions come up or whatever, but I just want him to have the opportunity to share his experience and where he is and what he's feeling and thinking. So I'm just here.
I'm so happy that there have been so many people that have heard. I mean, it's been a few thousand now. I haven't looked at it in a while, but I get comments every once in a while that come up, and it's like, people are, I'm going to get my shot. I'm going to get my shot. And it brings me a lot of gratitude that I've been able to reach so many people that have possibly changed their lives and are still alive. And I'm sure a lot of the people are probably not with us. It isn't a cure, but it is the best drug out there for opiate addicts that want to stop and be done for good. My path is completely different. So I got the Sublocade shot, and I decided, and I'm done. And I went a while without it, and I went back to the doctor. They put me back on Suboxone, and I had to go through a period on Suboxone to get another shot. And finally I got a shot, and I got 2 shots, and I said, all right, I'm good. And I had a relapse like a year in. I went back to the doctor, and they had to start me back on the Suboxone. And the doctor wanted to keep me on the Suboxone for like 6 months to a year and then get me on the shot. And had me on 8 milligrams a day, like most people, or 3 times a day. And I never took 3. I took 1 at the most. And I got to the point where I was taking just a little tiny crumble, literally a crumble, like the size of a piece of rice. And one day I went to the doctor for a checkup, that monthly visit that costs hundreds of dollars. And I pulled out my bottle and put it down, and I had hundreds of Suboxone. And she's like, what's going on? I said, look, this is how much I'm taking. And I said, you can have it all. I'm going to keep 5, but I'm done. And I stopped taking the Suboxone, and the only way that I can really compare, I don't think there is any way to completely be done without going through extreme mental pain, physical pain. And it's not the withdrawal. I didn't have any withdrawals because, like I said, I was taking such a small amount. I got to where it was like every few days I take a little piece. But the only thing I can compare that to in my recovery, and this is what's been on my mind, I got a divorce it's been like over a year. I got hooked on opiates when I was probably 12. When I broke my ankle, I fell in love for the first time in my life. Everything was just one. I fell in love with the love of my life. So that's 34 years ago that opiates, I just became so obsessed with them. I've had years off of them, but The Suboxone journey and the Sublocade or Sublocade, I've been corrected many times. Sublocade, though, blocking my receptors from needing opiates. No matter what path an opiate addict or any type of addict goes through, that is the best way that I can explain what I experienced. I went through a divorce, and it was very painful. And this divorce was the most painful one I've ever experienced, because this is a 30-year plus relationship that I have with the love of my life. I guess my point, a lot of people have asked, how's your journey? How are you doing? I've been off of it for months. I don't know how long, maybe 4, 5, 6. Time is so just, I don't know. But I have no desire. My fentanyl obsession is completely gone. It scares me, because I know that if I do it, I'm committing suicide. Like, that's the only reason I would do it, is I'm just done with life. But that last little crumb of Suboxone that I was taking was like just holding on to that relationship, to that love. It treated me so good. Opiates really did love me for decades, and it gave me so much just warmth and comfort, and it loved me. I loved it. We had a relationship that was very healthy. But when it turned on me, it really started getting abusive. I wanted to be done with that relationship for so long, but it was just like an abusive, dysfunctional relationship. I would leave it. I'm done. I'm divorcing you. It's over. But somehow that love just always came back. And, I've been through a journey of being done with that. And that final little tiny piece of Suboxone and throwing away those last 5 pills was very painful. It was like a divorce. I'm done. And I went through a period of depression with gratitude. I've been working with Kelly, but pain is the only thing that's going to make a person move past it. It's just what cracks your shell. So many people say, I'm getting the shot, I'm on Suboxone, I'm quitting opiates, and it's like, you are ready when you're ready. You are done when you're done. And it's just done. I'm not saying I got this, with that mentality in recovery that some people say, but I have healed from that love, and I have no relationship with it at all. I have no thoughts about it. Opiates, anti-opiates, they have no appeal to me at all. And today I am free of that abusive spouse, whatever you want to call it, that abusive love that I put up with, that wanted to kill me, would beat me to the point where I was unrecognizable. Completely took the light from my eyes, I gave up everything for one thing. And I love that saying. An addict has to give up one thing to gain everything, or you can keep that one thing and give away everything. And today I choose to be done with that abusive love that I kept taking that abuse. So, was my process perfect? Yes, my process was perfect, because I'm here where I'm at right now today. Mm-hmm. A lot of people say, dang, his Sublocade didn't work. His Sublocade didn't work. It didn't work for him. Yeah, it did. It gave me a lot of time to heal. My brain has had a lot of time to heal. Thank you to Sublocade and Suboxone and the process of recovery, the 12-step program, doing this with Kelly, meditation. how much pain has your love caused you in your life? How much abuse have you allowed to continue going on? And divorce is not easy. Divorce is the hardest thing I've ever been through. And I'm talking about 2 divorces, but the one specific, the longest love of my life, opiates. So, yeah. I just, it's just not in my life. I've never felt freedom from it. Even when I was on the shot, or when I was on Suboxone, I did not realize until I let go of those last 5 pills that I was just holding on to a reservation to that love. It's like I separated myself, but I still had the number in my phone. I still had the relationship with those pills in the bottle, thinking just in case. So, there's nothing that we can take, there's no drug in the world that we can take to make it easy. But there are a lot of things that we can do to fill that void, that we have, because we've mentioned before, anytime you remove something from your life, there is a hole. That's just, there's no way around it. And we have to find something to fill that with. And whatever that higher power is, it's so important. But life is good today. I'm not chasing the dragon. I'm not chasing my love that just wants to beat me and put me in the grave, kill me. So I don't know if something's on your mind about the process that people might question or whatever.
I think something that you said that I recognize in my own life is reservations. That as addicts, like, we just have these reservations, and I recognize, you saying that, it just made me, I've got reservations in my life. All of our recoveries are so different because our addictions are different. Our reasons for staying in addiction is different. We all have different wounds and different, traumas, different, all the stuff that we talk about. It's also different, but it brings us to the same place, and we all have a lot of the same experiences with it. But one of the things that holds us to these addictions is our reservation. It's having those extra pills just in case, having access to something just in case. And it's that just in case that keeps us attached to it. And I can see that in my own life.
Yeah. I know there are a lot of doctors out there that have our best interest in mind as recovering opiate addicts, but they do not understand that it is just another opiate. It's just another way not to divorce our past, not to be done with it. And I'm not against it. But for a doctor to put somebody on that crap for a year or 2 years, there is a, what's it called when you have everybody come together for a lawsuit?
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Everyone comes together for the lawsuit.
Whatever the word is. So Suboxone film strips, they have been proven to rot your teeth out, crack your teeth, cause tons of cavities, and there is a civil lawsuit, a joint civil group, whatever it's called. The word doesn't come to mind, but there is a lawsuit for people that have been on Suboxone for more than 6 months, the strips, and have had dental problems because it just rots people's teeth out. I think that Sublocade is the best way that a person has a chance to beat opiates. I'll stick by that. I mean that. I meant it when I said it, and I mean it today. It gives your brain time to heal. But there will come a time where you have to go through the process of mourning the loss, because that relationship, if you're like me and you've been in that love, in that relationship for decades, there comes a time where you literally have to go through the divorce. The Sublocade shot, I had no withdrawals. I've heard some people say I had a little bit. I mean, you're not like sick on the toilet, vomiting, chills, and all that stuff. I had nothing, but I still loved. I could. It was the divorce that was the most difficult for me, and that process, it's never going to be easy for anybody. Divorce isn't easy, whether it's literal with a person or it's with a drug. And I've done both in the last 2 years. And I can say, that, and I don't want to sound insensitive, because it was the most, and it still is. I mean, a divorce with a person is very, very challenging. But she was always second. She was my cross addiction. We talked about that recently. Like, if I was off of drugs for a little while, I always had that cross addiction. I always had the ability to use something else. Sad to say, I was stuck in a cycle of back and forth, but I always had a love to give me comfort. And I never found that independent ability to love myself and not have those outside affirmations and needy. And anytime I needed, I knew where I could get comfort. And today, I do not miss that. I don't miss dope. I don't miss opiates. I just don't miss it. I am so grateful. I have so much gratitude every day that I don't wake up thinking, okay, it's going to take me X amount of money just to break even, because I got to get up and get going. And I've said it before, I was a hopeless case. I was the addict that does not get clean. I've been to rehab 5 times. I've been to outpatient 12 times. I've been to jail 10 times. I mean, it's just opiates. There was nothing that was going to separate me from my love. And it got to the point where I was either going to be buried, because I'd already died a couple times. I've been institutionalized, incarcerated, and I have died. And I just haven't permanently died and been put in the ground. And I'm so grateful today that opiates are not going to kill me. Yeah. So this doesn't have to go on forever, but I just wanted to let everybody know my process of recovery is perfect. It is the process that I've been blessed with. And today I can relate with people that otherwise I would have never had the ability to relate with. I have the empathy and the sympathy, and I can sit with so many people that are experiencing things, because I've experienced so much through so much self-abuse, self-hate, and just relationship dysfunctionality with a substance. So I am a grateful, and I hate those people, but I am those people. I am a grateful, recovering, imperfect addict that is loving life, waking up in the morning, excited to be in the present moment and not be thinking about my next fix, not chasing after it every single day, quitting every single day. I have divorced the love of my life, and that's where I'm at. So for everybody that's asked, was it perfect? Yep, it was perfect. Are you going to judge me? Are you going to think, oh, well, it didn't work for him? It did work for me. It just didn't look what a person wants it to look like. Mm-hmm. But it looks exactly how it needed to look for me. Mm-hmm. So you don't have to go down that same path. You can get the shot one time, you can get the shot a couple times, but the doctor wants you to keep coming for years. Y'all all know that if you've been on Suboxone treatment. It's a cycle. It's money. When you're ready and you're done, just start taking smaller and smaller doses until you're just taking a little piece of rice, and then break it down to every day, and then just be done, and know that you are at the beginning of a divorce with something that you have loved and has treated you very well at times, but we all know where it takes us. So anybody can do it if I can do it. Anybody can do it because anybody can do it, not because I can do it. Anybody can do it, period. I love that God has given me a chance at life and peace and serenity, and that I don't have that baboon. It's not a monkey. That sucker's beaten. I mean, it's a beast. And anybody out there that's still stuck in it, we pray for y'all. Mm-hmm. And we always say, if we can just reach one addict and help one person recover, or if we can just reach one person with a message, that's all that matters. So whatever your journey has looked like, no matter how hopeless you feel, I can promise that I have been there. I have completely given up on myself, and I knew that I would never recover from opiates and from that but it's possible. And I'm living proof that it's possible. And like I said, I'm not going to say you can do it because I can do it. You can do it because anybody can do it. I love y'all. Mm-hmm. I hope that helps somebody.
And I do want to share one thing also. I think one thing that gets people a lot of times starting opioids is pain. Like you experienced it at 12 years old for pain relief.
Broken ankle.
Yeah. And so getting off, a lot of us deal with physical pain, and that is why we stay on it. And I don't want to go into it here because I just shared a video on my own channel about being in recovery and dealing with chronic pain and different ways that we can find to do things in our lives differently than using pills and using the things that we can get hooked on and have addictions with. And so just go into my other channel and you can hear some of the things that I talk about there, and it's really a mind shift of instead of looking at the chronic pain and fighting the pain and all that, it's looking at a whole different way of healing and health and wellness, and how can we build ourselves up and create a new life for ourselves, because we don't have to be stuck in all of that pain. We can divorce ourselves, and I love how you talked about that, divorcing ourselves from that. And I'm in this process still. I'm not in this perfection of it. We started this, and this is just a journey, and we're learning and we're growing and we're sharing the things that are working for us. And I'm still in it, trying to figure out what works best for me with where I am and the chronic pain that I live with every single day.
Yeah. Be kind to yourself.
And
love
patience.
yourself. Be patient with yourself, and know that whatever your journey looks like, if you're progressing, that's all that matters. If you're making progress and you're doing better today than you were yesterday, give yourself a break. Mm-hmm. God loves you. God loves me in my imperfections. He's not expecting perfect. It's not the purpose of life. Mm-hmm. Progress. Last thing, I put off picking up a tag at my group for my recovery time, because I know that people in there, what their attitude is toward medical assistance recovery. And I put it off for 22 days, going and hoping that all those people wouldn't be there. And finally, every single one of them were there, and I got up and did it, because this journey is nobody else's but mine. Your journey is nobody's but yours. So, to thine own self be true. Do not compare your recovery with anybody else's, because it's between you and your higher power. So, but there does come a time where ultimately you have to divorce 100%. And that's when recovery begins. Whenever you finally say, I am not going to allow this in my life anymore. I'm putting up boundaries. I am completely changing everything. That's when the recovery begins. It's not when we're healed. It's when we let go, give it to God, that we can start to heal and make that progress. So, I love y'all. Anyone can get clean. Anyone can get off of dope. Anyone can get off of opiates, anti-opiates. If you want it, you can have it. Love y'all.
Bye, y'all.